Well, g'day, Curd Nerds. You may have noticed that I haven't been producing as many videos as I normally do. Now, there's a reason behind that, and if you haven't been watching the live streams, then you probably aren't up to speed on some rotten news that I've got to share about Kim, my lovely wife, who helps me out with the live streams on Wednesday and Saturday. Probably noticed that they're not around as well. Now, this rotten news is that last year, there's a bit of a story to it. Last year, she noticed some abnormalities in her left breast, and she was initially diagnosed with a condition called non-cancerous duct papilloma. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, she was offered some surgery to remove the milk duct, which happened. And then after that, there was a pathology report which found some pre-cancerous cells in her breast around the milk duct that was taken out, which is known as ductal carcinoma in situ, or DCIS. So that meant they had to go in and take out some more breast tissue, which they did on a second operation. However, the pathology report after that found a 3.7 millimetre tumour, cancerous tumour, malignant, that was in her breast tissue. They also took the precaution of removing some of her sentinel lymph nodes. They took out 5 of those, and unfortunately they found cancer cells in one of the 5 sentinel lymph nodes. So what does that mean? Well, basically it means that she was then diagnosed with early breast cancer, which was a shock to both of us, I can tell you. So then she had to have multiple scans, so medical scans. The first one, there was a nuclear bone scan to make sure that there was no cancer in her bones. There was then a CT scan, and that was to check if there was cancer anywhere else in her body. And then that was followed up with a PET scan, and then an echocardiogram, which checks heart function and stuff like that. Initial results of the CT scan was that there may have been a possible secondary cancer in her sternum, which was bad because once you get a secondary cancer, then it starts to travel throughout the body. However, once it was confirmed against the PET scan that this was not a secondary cancer, so I'll start again. The CT scan was compared to the PET scan, which shows rapid cell growth and stuff like that in your body. And it was confirmed, thank goodness, that she did not have secondary cancer. So we could then, that was a fairly few really scary and emotional days, I can tell you. So the treatment basically for this early breast cancer is 2 sets of chemotherapy given over 12 weeks each, so that's 6 months of chemotherapy, which she is halfway through, which is great. And then that's followed by 9 months of a targeted therapy called Herceptin. She's got these HER2 receptors on the cancer cells, which tell the cancer cells to rapidly multiply. So she's having a targeted therapy after that to stop any cancer cells that may be left to stop multiplying and die, go away, which is great. So that's all up a full year and a bit. So that will be finished in February 2021. So all of that's intravenous. And then, so basically she's had a third surgery to get this thing called an implantable port fitted into her right arm. It's fitted up there inside her arm, and that's where she has the chemotherapy drugs administered. So she started her chemotherapy on the 28th of November, and has had 5 sessions so far, which will finish on the 6th of May. So that'll finish on the 6th of May, and then she's got the like I said, remaining targeted treatment up until February next year. So you can imagine that there may be some side effects and stuff that she's been getting. She's been getting really bad fatigue. She's also been getting some hair thinning, but the good thing is that she hasn't had total hair loss. As you can see in this photo, she does prefer to wear headscarves when she's out because her hair is thinning a bit. She's been using this system called a Paxton hair cooling thing they put on her head, and it prevents the chemotherapy from affecting the hair follicles, which normally all the hair would fall out. So she's got a good looking head of hair, which is great. And she's very happy with that. So soon she's going to have an MRI to determine the next course of action. If there are still small tumours or cancerous cells that are picked up by the MRI, then it's a case of making a decision whether she has radiotherapy to kill those off. Now that's treatment every day, 5 days a week for 5 weeks, and that happens after the chemotherapy, or removal of the affected area. So that's the drastic treatment. So we'll see if that happens or not, but hopefully not. We're okay. Kim has chosen not to appear on the video because she reckons it'd be fairly emotional for her, and I tell you what, it's emotional for me. But we're going okay and living through the reality of cancer every single day, and that includes all the frequent trips to the hospital, which is an hour each way travel from where we live here in Melton West. So it's in Ballarat. So we're going to the private hospital covered by a health fund, and so financially we're not too bad off as far as the treatment goes, because a lot of it is covered by either Medicare, which is our universal healthcare here in Australia, or the private health fund, which we've been paying into for a long time. So her spirits are fairly high. She's been doing a little bit of work around the house, no heavy lifting or anything silly like that. But we are both so thankful to our GP who first picked this up, our medical practitioner, and her surgeon who discovered all these things, and the oncologist who has been treating her, and the wonderful nursing staff at the Anam Cara cancer treatment ward in St John of God's Hospital. They are fantastic, and the treatment has been so much better because of them and their attitudes and all the great things they've been doing for us. So we're very thankful to those people. I'd like to thank those publicly. So don't forget to get yourself checked out. If you're in any doubt whatsoever, or if you're due a mammogram, or you've noticed something, even the slightest little thing, go and get yourself checked out. The earlier the better. Kim's prognosis is very good. They reckon that it should not reoccur after treatment, which is good. But we're going to get checked, and the long-term prognosis is, as I said, very good. She's going to be under the watchful eye of the medical practitioners that we currently see for many years down the track, and that'll be, I think it's 3 monthly checks or something like that, and some scans later on to see what's going on. just to keep an eye on it all, which is fantastic. So where does all this fit in as far as not making videos on the channel? Well, you can imagine I'm Kim's now full-time carer, as far as driving her back and forth to the appointments and looking after her when she's fatigued. Plus, she can't really do much due to the fatigue and the other symptoms and stuff. So myself and Ben, who's my son, who lives here, he's an adult, lives here at home with us. We've been running the business, Little Green Workshops, which is our main gig, and that's how we make our money, to keep the roof over our head, of course. So we've been doing that. So I'm going to try, and I've managed to do it so far, to upload at least 2 videos a month. So whether I am able to stick to that schedule, we'll see, but I'm trying my best to do that. Also, you'll notice maybe that I've launched a podcast channel as well, and that's called Little Green Cheese Podcast with Gavin Weber. I think that's the full title of the channel, but I'll put a link down in the description below and you can go and check that out. That's an archive. I've uploaded all the audio podcasts that I've had originally. There's 83 episodes, and then once we get to the 83rd episode, I'm going to start producing new ones, and I can actually manage that a bit better than what I can a full cheese making tutorial. Also, in my spare time, which there isn't much, I've actually been working on the second cheese making recipe book that I've been promising for, I don't know, 3 years or something. It's called Keep Calm and Make More Cheese, which will be an add-on to my original book, Keep Calm and Make Cheese, which is available for purchase now. So I'm working on that. I've got all but 2 of the 56 recipes completed. I might add 1 or 2 more in there. We'll see. But I'm working on the troubleshooting guide now, which is quite in depth, and people have asked for it during the live streams. So that's keeping me busy. Before the diagnosis of the early breast cancer, we were planning on building a studio out in the backyard. So it's going to be used mainly for storage, but there will be space for me to film cheese making videos and stuff like that without me having to disturb the kitchen. That's where I normally make it, and set it up with lights and cameras and all that sort of stuff. So I'll have my own dedicated little studio. But it'll be for more than just cheese making. It'll be for things like soap making, candle making, bath bombs, all that sort of stuff that we do at Little Green Workshops. Cheese is just one of those things that we do. And I'll be able to film other sorts of videos and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. And that'll go on, this channel, as well as we've got a Little Green Workshops channel as well that has soap making, candles and bath bombs and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be good fun as well. So that's keeping us distracted from this. The building permit got approved 2 days ago, and we just put our first deposit down with the builders, and we will see how that goes. Building commences in April, which is a month before Kim's initial set of treatments is finished. So that's keeping Kim distracted, which is good, and we're living life basically. We're moving on, hoping for the best, and knowing that the treatment's great. We're well looked after, and that Kim's going to be around to do all the stuff that we want to do together in our life, which is fantastic. So the cheese making videos will continue, albeit at a slower pace. Like I said, I'm going to try and make at least 1 recipe a month, plus there'll be taste test videos and little hints and tips, stuff that I can fit in, because making a cheese video takes a very long time. As you can imagine, you have to make the cheese, plus you got to film it and all that sort of stuff as well. But not much you can do there, but soldier on. So at least 1 of the weekends a month I'll be making cheese and filming that. It'll be a new cheese, of course, so that you can make it yourselves, which will be fantastic. So cheese making is still my hobby and my passion, and without my patrons and my YouTube members' support, which I'm eternally grateful for, their financial support really helps us continue on with the channel and continue doing what we do, even though business is a bit slow because we've had to cut back on advertising and stuff like that, because we just don't have the capacity to send out as many orders as we used to. So we've kind of stopped some of the inputs into the website, the Little Green Workshop's website, so that Ben and I can cope, which is what we're doing. Anyway, so thanks for your ongoing support. I know it's a bit of a shock to some people who haven't watched the live streams. The Cheese Man will keep going. I'm doing what I can when I can do it. So thanks to all the wonderful people who have sent me notes, sent Kim and I notes of thanks, and get well soon and all that sort of stuff. It's been overwhelming, the support that we've had from our YouTube communities across all our channels. So a big thank you to all those people who have reached out so far. So please keep watching the videos. That would be fantastic. That keeps some of the ad revenue coming in, which is always required to keep a roof over our head. And share the videos wherever you reckon is a good place to share them, so people find the cheese making videos and watch them, of course. Anyway, Curd Nerds, thanks for your time. I'm sorry that you've been lumbered with some news like this. I didn't really want to put it into a cheese making video. I didn't think that was appropriate, but I'll certainly leave this up on the channel for people to get a better understanding of what not only Kim but myself and Ben are kind of going through, and the rest of our family, of course. So thanks for your time of watching this today, and we will see you in the next exciting cheese making video. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I'll see you next time.